right, it is time to make some breakfast. I'm a little late on breakfast today. It is 9:16 a.m. Yikes. But I had to deal with some trash that I can't exactly put outside because it's 16 degrees outside. But it's no longer in the trash cans and falling on the floor, so I guess that's something. So what am I going to make today? How about some French toast with homemade bread? I don't have too much of it left. I need to start another loaf. In fact, while I'm thinking about that, I should probably put some water in my pan so that I can get the bread out of it. So what else do I need? I gotta be careful with the water. If I accidentally turn it off, I could accidentally not have any water. I'm gonna try and stay out of the camera lens. I think I'm wearing some terrible clothes today. But I haven't been able to do any laundry. And I absolutely have to do laundry today because I've got a bunch of not paper towels that have to be washed. They're over there. Those have to be washed because I'm down to my last 2 or 3 of those pink towels. So that's going to be a challenge today. So here's the deal. When the temperatures are really, really cold, you have to drip your faucets, especially if they're on an exterior wall. That's a window. So windows overlooking your kitchen sink, they're great until the temperature is below freezing. And that window is letting in a lot of cold air. Unfortunately, I have to leave that window unblocked because that microwave was destroyed when this house was moved in 2015. So there's no way for me to vent the exhaust gases off that gas stove other than to open that window. Yay. So the first thing you have to do when making French toast out of your homemade bread is slice it. And I've got a little notch right here that I'm going to get rid of because it won't fry right with a little notch. So I'm going to try and cut this as smoothly as I can. And there was no such thing as sliced bread until 1928. So if people prior to 1928 wanted French toast, I should look and see when that was invented, they would have to slice their bread first. And I think if I do this, I might get 3 slices out of this. Careful. There's another one. Whoops, there's another little. And now I just need to cut the heel off. And I've got a 3rd slice. There we go. Now, if I was one to save heels for stuffing for Christmas, I could take this heel, and actually those little bits that I didn't need either, put it in a bag and put it in the freezer and save it. And then I could make stuffing out of this right here. I'm not going to do it because I don't think I'm going to have enough bread to be able to make stuffing. But then again, I'm making a lot of my own bread. You know what? Let's see if it happens. Let's see if it happens. I can't do anything about the bits that I tore off because I didn't put those in the bag. I put them straight on the counter. Now I'm going to cut this in half. And I'm going to cut these in half. And I'm going to cut this one in half. And some bits have fallen off, so I'm going to put those in my bag. I was thinking the other day I wanted some stuffing, but I didn't request a box. Well, let's see if by Christmas, if I have enough heels to make stuffing. And every time I wash my hands, I have to be careful not to turn the faucet all the way off. I really think this is how most people end up with frozen pipes. They wash their hands and they turn the faucet all the way off. And boom, it's frozen just that quick. So today is going to be a bit of a challenge. Now I've already got my bowl and fork ready for my eggs. And I got these eggs from the food pantry. Let's see if my skillet's ready because I got to have a place to crack the eggs. This bowl isn't solid enough to crack an egg on. So let's see if it's clean enough to crack an egg on it. So yeah, I think it is clean enough and I can start cracking my eggs. And this whole meal is courtesy of the food pantry. I made the bread from flour and oil and ingredients that I got from the food pantry. I got the milk from the food pantry. I got the eggs from the food pantry. I got this imperial margarine from the food pantry. And I'm going to fry it in that. So this breakfast is courtesy of the food pantry. So let me crack a few eggs. I know these eggs are fresh because they said they ran out of eggs. So hopefully they bought them at the store. Let's see, I've got 3 pieces of homemade bread. I got to put 2 eggs in there. I think 2 eggs will be plenty. Because you don't just coat your bread in scrambled eggs. You have to do things to it. So, here's what you do. First of all, you need to add milk. You're making basically an egg custard to coat these breads with. So you want to add a little bit of milk. You also want to make it tasty. So you want to add a little bit of sugar. Now I'm going to add sugar, but you could add maple syrup to this. You could add honey to this. You could even add fake pancake syrup to it. I just don't feel like doing it, so I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar. Whoops. I'm going to add a lot of sugar. I think I'll add another egg. Whoopsies. Alright, so once you add your milk and sugar, you want to add your spices. So I'm going to add some nutmeg and cinnamon. Nutmeg, cinnamon. And if I had some vanilla, either a pure vanilla or vanilla extract, I would add that too. But I don't have any, so can't add that. Forgot to wash a fork. And when I say forgot to wash a fork, I mean forgot to wash it a second time. Because all my forks get washed twice. Once after I use them and once before I'm going to use them. And you'd be surprised how many dirty forks I pull out of the clean fork thing. You know what I should have done? I should have put some butter in the skillet before I stuck my clean fork in the eggs. But anyway, so I'm going to mix this up, and this should be plenty for 3 pieces of bread. Alright, I'm going to show you what this looks like. So here is my egg custard for my French toast. And I am very thankful for the food pantry this week, because once I get done with this French toast, I'm going to start making some chicken and noodles, my homemade from scratch egg noodles. I have 3 eggs left. I don't think I'll need all of them. And then I'm going to read a book, and I'm going to tell you about it. I always check my pans like 1,000 times. So I'm just going to use this Imperial margarine. I actually looked at the store to see how much this stuff was the other day. It's about $1.69 at my local grocery. So it's not the most expensive. Just waiting on my butter to melt, and I would like some more coffee. So I'm going to wash my mug and make myself just a little more coffee. Coffee is made. I'm going to reset this. So once I get done with breakfast, I will be reading a book. It's a dystopian book that isn't done. I'm going to perform one of my suck, no suck edits on it. And that's actually like the most popular form of edit that I do. And I don't list it when I do articles and videos on it because I don't know why. It just doesn't occur to me. But my most popular edit is actually called a suck, no suck. And what it is, I read the book and I tell the author if it sucks or doesn't suck. And it's a little more in-depth than what you would get with a beta reader. It's kind of a cross between what a beta reader would do and kind of a light developmental edit. So it's not free, I charge for it. But I go in and I say, does the book have potential? And a lot of times it does. And then as I'm reading it, I indicate the rough spots. You know, you could do this better, you could do that better. I don't think this makes sense. That kind of thing. But it's a quick edit. And it's kind of in between a developmental edit and what you would have a beta reader do. And I'm going to do that on this. It's a science fiction dystopian book. Actually, I like it a lot. And I'll tell you about it as soon as I know when it's published. But obviously it's not published yet because it's, you know, I'm the 3rd draft. The author put on 2 drafts and I'm the 3rd one. And she'll have to do a 4th before it's ready to go. But so far, I am really enjoying it. And And I'm starting to get questions about fiction. Reading fiction. And I do have a little bit of fiction on the site. It's generally previews of the books that I have written. I also have tutorials. But the reason I don't do more of it is because you don't want to see it. My last tutorial, and I just put it up. I need to go see what it is. I forget the title. Well, no wonder I'm talking about editing. The video that I put up is what the various edits are and how to use them. And strangely enough, I forgot to put in my suck, no suck edit. Because I do a lot of those. But here's the deal. As of the making of this French toast video, that video that was posted the day before I recorded this video has 2 views on it. Whoops. So, that's why I don't do more of it. I know I've got some interest in fiction read-alongs. And I would be interested in doing that, but I'm not sure when. Because I assume that a fiction read-along would be like a live video. So you guys need to tell me which of my books you would like me to read live. And I'm not going to promise that we're going to get through a whole book. My books are too long for a whole live reading, but if you wanted to start doing those, like a series of live read-alongs, tell me which book you would like me to read and what time works best for you. Put that down in the comments of this video. Boy, does this look tasty. Smells good too. And we'll do some more. And you just coat your bread. It's a light coating. You don't need to, really leave it in there so that it's super soggy. Show you what these first 2 look like so you know what's going on. These are my first 2, and what burns is the sugar that I put in it. So, that's what that looks like. And I need to put just a hair more of this in the skillet. Yep. I am thankful for the food pantry today. Now, I'm not going to eat all of this French toast this morning. So I'm going to put one more French toast in my bowl, and I'm going to put the other 3 in this bag. And I'm going to stick it in the fridge for a later date, probably tomorrow. Alrighty. And some delicious coffee. I am done with this milk for now. If you're wondering, just the milk and eggs that I get from the food pantry saves me $4, $7. It's a little more than $7, just those 2 items. When you add in the butter, it's pretty close to like $9. Although I buy real butter and that's $5 a pound. But you gotta go with what you got. The pancake syrup saves me about $2 too. I think I calculated at one time, getting an order from the food pantry saves between $50 and $60. It'd be a little bit less these days because they're not giving as much food away due to the high demand. But this breakfast, aside from these two spices, was all food pantry, all stuff I got from the food pantry. And here's the deal. If you can't do this with your food pantry stuff, if you can't make a meal, at least 1 or 2 meals, that was my coffee maker telling me that it's finished brewing. If you can't make complete meals, or close to it out of what the food pantry gives you, find another food pantry. There are good food pantries out there, and you can find one that's pretty close to mine. I'm sure you can. There are food pantries now that are big enough that you can shop them like a regular grocery store. And this isn't one of them, but you know, there are good food pantries out there. If you haven't found one this week, look harder. It's out there. I still haven't had the money to buy actual Ziploc bags. But I will as soon as I collect the final payment from my editing, and then somebody actually donated to my Merry Christmas GoFundMe, and I'll put that down in this description. Generally, I don't highlight the Merry Christmas GoFundMe unless somebody asks, but that's kind of how I'm making it these days, is with these editing projects and the Merry Christmas GoFundMe. In fact, I have actually hit my goal of being able to pay my property taxes, and I think keep my internet website up and running, but it's been a challenge. In order to do it, you know, and if you're wondering how poor people make this stuff work, did I have the money? No, of course not. The food pantry is kind of like food stamps. You don't start going to these places until you're desperate, until literally you don't have any food, and you're behind on a couple of bills. But this French toast is done. There it is. Homemade French toast with ingredients I got from the food pantry. And I would say that's probably about it for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later. And don't forget to tell me when you'd like to do a live book reading and at what time, day and time works best for you. Anyway, have a great day.